Hello and welcome to Long's Toys. I have another Transformers 4 Age of Extinction review for you today. This is Voyager class Grimlock. I'm going to go ahead and put the figure off to the side for a second so we can take a look at the packaging. Really cool picture of Grimlock in Dino mode right here. Really like that. Transformers on the side. I kind of like the style of basic packaging they're going for with this. Not a lot of flair, just looks pretty good. Here's a picture of the T-Rex mode, robot mode. Then we have evasion mode Optimus Prime, which we saw yesterday. Nothing on the top, nothing on the bottom. So there we go. Bring Grimlock back in here. Okay, so here we have Grimlock, Voyager class. This is the weapon that he comes with. It's a little tight in his fist. There we go. It's just kind of a weird mace thing. This piece can come off. I don't know. It doesn't really do much for me. I mean, I guess it's kind of a cool hammer mace type weapon, but I don't know. The way he holds it so high up that I feel like he can't really wield it. Like, it would have made more sense to kind of have it farther down like a club so he can actually hit people with it. By holding it all the way up here, it's just kind of like a weird staff. So, I don't know. Now, the directions do show that you can put it in the back here. He's got a little hole right there, which the handle can peg into. So, and that way it can just kind of rest on his back. I don't know. I think that looks kind of weird. I would have much preferred if they had a way that it could fit on the back at an angle. Something like this. Just because I think that would look better. But I'm just going to put the weapon off to the side for now. Overall, I think this figure is pretty good. I like the coloring. I like the detail. I'll get into the head sculpt here. Get real close. I have to say I like it. It's kind of, and let me see if I can hold it steady. It's kind of like a weird grin almost. I mean, I think this part here in the middle is supposed to be like a faceplate, but the two things on the side kind of look like teeth. So it kind of gives him like a, I don't know, kind of a maniac grin almost. And I really like his dark green painted eyes. There's no light piping. Those are just like painted emerald green. And they kind of have a little bit of sparkle to them, like some glitter almost in there. I think it looks pretty good though. Articulation-wise, he's got the same kind of arms as Prime. It's not a ratchet, but it's a swivel here, and then a swivel like this. To get any kind of, like, you can move the arms here, like this. The fists don't move, but you could unpeg this, and then they move. So you could do that. Waist articulation, he doesn't really have any, but he does have, you know, here at the hip. You might have to move these, like, guards out of the way a little bit to get the full range. But he's got a swivel this way. Swivel this way. He's got a swivel underneath that where the gray meets the black. And then he's got it at the knee. And then he's got a little bit here at the foot as part of the transformation. These, like, waist guards kind of get in the way a little bit, but not too bad. And you can move them, so it's not that big a deal. And the head is on a swivel. Back and forth. And then the whole thing can go front to back. But overall, he has a lot of nice points of articulation. Very cool figure. We'll go ahead and start with the transformation. Okay, to start off here, you're going to kind of, right behind the head, you kind of pull this section away. And as you see, there's tabs. Let me see if I can get in close. There's a tab there, and a tab here. And they peg into two holes right there. So you just kind of unpeg that and pull this back a little bit. Then you got to lift this up. And how this is going to work is you can see this is connected on a gray piece right here. Kind of lift that in between as you kind of, it's kind of, you got to keep these straight so you can get this through here, but you kind of have to get around the 2 points right here. So then once you can get this through, then you can bring these together. And then you push these together, and then you'll see, let me get in close again. There's a peg in here, and there's a hole right there. So you just have to kind of finagle it. There we go. And then that will peg in. And then you've got, I like to fold these back. I think it looks better if you fold them in. Otherwise, I think he looks like a wolf. Kind of weird, like dog type thing. You can push this down a little bit. Then you're going to take this piece that's left and just go ahead and push that all the way. And that'll fit pretty snug against the body. You can see it snugs in right there. Then you just kind of keep the head all the way back. This is his crotch plate, which you just move up a little bit and kind of just unpeg these and kind of move them out of the way a little bit. This section here, right here at the waist, the black part, is going to flip up and come all the way around like that. You're going to take the 2 feet, point the feet all the way down. They'll click. Then you push these together. There's a little peg right here on the foot, right here. Make sure you get these hands out of the way. Then you're just going to take the feet and do a 180 on them. Now, right here, here and here, there are pegs. And then there's a slot. It's going to be hard to see because it's black. But right here and right here. And so you just peg these in. And you might have to play with the feet a little bit to get everything to like line up nicely, but they will peg into place. There you go. So yeah, once you get them all pegged in, then they'll be kind of nice and snug. So now you have the tail mode. Then you're going to bring the hands down. You're going to unpeg this part, turn it around, and then this will peg into the hole that the other part was pegged into. And then you flip this other toe around, and then there you go. Now you got feet. So you can do the same thing with the other one. Peg that in. Now, as far as these go, I've seen some people put them, let me move these feet out of the way a sec, put them up here like this, which I guess could be correct, but then the hands are kind of weird on the side. I've also seen it transformed like this, and then the hands are kind of in a more natural place for a T-Rex, but then it does kind of expose this. So it's kind of just personal preference, I think. I wish there was kind of a better way to do this, or like a more obvious place where they pegged in. I kind of like it like this, only because it puts the hands in a more logical spot for a T-Rex. So that's kind of where I like to keep them. Let me angle down here. But overall, I think it's a pretty good T-Rex mode. Like I said, if you want to put the ears up, you can. I've seen a lot of people do that. But then to me, he almost kind of looks like a wolf. Like he's got these like tall ears, and the mouth kind of looks like a wolf or a giant cat or something. So I like to push these down, because then I think he looks more like a T-Rex. Now with the mace, there is a way that you can kind of like feed it on the back here, and it'll snap in place, but it doesn't. I think it looks kind of weird. It will be, because it only comes to about here and stops. If it worked so that you could put it all the way to like here, so that it was flush with this part and covered the feet completely, then maybe it would look like a cohesive tail or something. Or if there was a way to like, you know, combine this flush and have the spike on the end, so it looked cooler. The way it stands, I think it was like an afterthought, or just they gave up on that part. I don't know what to say. So I just leave it off to the side because I don't think it's that great. But I have to say, I like this T-Rex mode. Oh, it does have a button here on the side for chomping action, which I think is a cool little touch. It doesn't really get in the way of either mode, and you know, it doesn't. It's a nice gimmick without ruining the figure for the gimmick, so I appreciate that. I hate when they have a gimmick that kind of ruins the figure, kind of like the Power Battlers, where the gimmick is all there is. I don't mind a little gimmick like this. You can see screw holes here, which is kind of a bummer, but you know, it's not a big deal. I kind of wish the tail was a little bit longer, but again, that's just a minor complaint. Overall, it looks pretty good. I've seen pictures of the Leader Class Grimlock, and I like this Dino mode a lot more, which is why I decided to go with this. The Dino mode of the Leader Class, I feel like, from the legs onward, is far too long. It just doesn't look natural. I mean, I know it's hard to say natural when you're talking about robotic dinosaurs, but it just looks off. I really like Voyager Grimlock. When I first saw designs of Grimlock, I really wasn't too enthusiastic about it, just because it's so completely different from like G1 Grimlock. But I understand that they have to do something different because there's been so many G1-esque Grimlock toys made that they really did need to do something new. And it is nice and refreshing to get a take on Grimlock that's not exactly the same. I don't really like the kind of dog ears, like I said, but that's easily fixed because you can push them down, so then they don't really bother me because they sit flush with the rest of the head and kind of aren't noticeable, so I appreciate that. The gold and silver color scheme is an interesting choice, but it does kind of work. I do like it. I love the dark green emerald eyes. I think they offset the other colors and it just looks great altogether, so I really appreciate that. I kind of wish the flail weapon he came with was executed a little bit better. As a weapon, I feel like the handle is too high up, and it doesn't really combine with the Dino mode at all, so it's kind of worthless. It doesn't really do anything for me in either mode. But I mean, you're not buying a Grimlock toy for his weapon. You're buying him for, you know, his awesome robot and Dino mode. And I have to say, I really do like both modes. The robot mode has definitely grown on me. I mean, I would have at least liked him to have his kind of trademark visor, since he doesn't really have individual eyes. But like I said, it's a new take, and it really has grown on me. I really have started to appreciate it. As far as Voyager versus Leader Class, I'm sure there'll be completists out there who get both. I got the Voyager class. I kind of, you know, looked at each of them, and I watched a couple reviews online to see which one I thought I would like better. I really do like the Voyager better. I mean, one, it's cheaper, which is always nice. And two, I think the Dino mode is way better. The Leader mode, or the Leader class, does have a lot of nice chrome on it, which looks nice. And the robot mode is probably technically a little bit nicer in the Leader class. But I really do not care for the Dino mode on the Leader class at all. Like I said, it's just his legs are too far back. It looks really weird. Plus his tail section, the way it like just clips on, and I've heard it constantly falls off, so not a fan. Definitely, oh, we just got some light. Definitely a fan of the Voyager class. That's my opinion. But please, tell me what you think in the comments. Please like and share this video. Please make sure you're subscribed. I have links down in the description for my Facebook and Twitter, so please make sure you're following me on there. The 100th video giveaway is still going on, so go back and check out my 100th video for details about that. I hope you've enjoyed this video of Transformers 4 Age of Extinction Voyager Class Grimlock, and thanks for watching.